Hey everybody, we're live. Danny B here. I'm the host this week of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Happy to have you all here tonight. Right now I'm joined by the Iceberg and Darian from Black Flags Matter. We're waiting on Eric to get here. He's got a little bit of a late night project going on. And we're also waiting on our guest, ACS Network, formerly known as Affleck Cup Series. Hey, here he is actually. Here he is right here. Here's ACS coming on with us. And guys, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Gino, welcome. I'm sure you're a very happy guy after this weekend.
Got my stuff on.
All right, so I've kind of introduced people a little bit, and you guys can say something real quick if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
I'll go first. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Darren Gilliam, a.k.a. Black Flags Matter. A lot of big news today. And we still have the Dover race to go over. Go check out my latest upload, Bad Seasons Johnny Benson 1999. And I will be doing a certain driver's good seasons. We'll talk about him later on in the show. He's recently retired now, unfortunately. But a new good seasons video on him will be out this Friday. So be on the lookout for that.
And what's up, guys? Iceberg here again. Really quick, because I know we've been forgetting to do this at the start. Everyone lick the like button while you're at it. 61 people watching, 17 likes. That is a terrible ratio. Anyway, I got new missing rings out, and Devil's Advocate as normal. But so go ahead and check those out afterwards. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. And even my race. I raced this weekend. But but maybe we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I don't want to stall any much longer. I'll give it over to Gino.
Everybody, I'm the Affleck Cup Series, now known as the ACS Racing Network. I'm most famous for my stop motions, so I guess I'm filling the void while Eric is gone. The stop motion void, that is, while he's gone. And I'm a very happy camper this week. Sunday started off right with Chase Elliott and Victory Lane, so I'm excited to talk about that.
Absolutely. I think that's a good first topic to get into. I know we've got a lot that's happened just today, but let's go ahead and talk about the race that happened this weekend, just to get that one out of the way. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to watch it. I was working on Sunday. I will be off for the next few Sundays. And actually, I think I am going to be in Talladega this weekend. So if anyone's going to be at Talladega on Sunday, I'll be there.
Awesome.
But yeah, Chase Elliott got the win. Ironic that someone who I feel like is going to be a very famous person when you look back on his career, Denny Hamlin, got second place in this one. Denny Hamlin still has not got a win this season. Chase Elliott, now that's his second win of his career/season. It didn't feel like he was the one who was supposed to win that one, though.
But I got a take on that. Coming from a diehard Chase Elliott fan as myself, I think that the amount of times Chase has lost races, I think he deserves more wins like this. Like, he doesn't deserve like a lot of them, but I think he has a couple handouts coming to him for the amount of times he's lost a race like Chicagoland in 2016, where the caution comes out. Truex wins the race off pit road, and I think Chase just kind of deserves this type of win, in my opinion.
I'll agree with you, and especially when you look back to Dover a year ago, because I feel like in that Dover race, I feel like he did deserve the win, and then Kyle Busch got him on the last lap, whereas this year he kind of reversed his roles.
I'll tell you one thing. Eric Almirola is still not over that race. Even it's Wednesday now. I mean, this was his win. This was his win, guys. Harvick had problems. Busch had problems towards the end. I bet you Eric Almirola is probably still thinking about about Dover right now as we speak. He choked. I can't get over it. I don't understand it. Like, he had the race won, and I don't know who his crew chief is. He's like a Matt Ryan lookalike, something like that. He makes the decision to pit, which I'm kind of questioning because, I mean, there was only a few to go, and there were some cars who just didn't pit at all, and he relegates him to 6th place. Then all of a sudden, he's like trying to make it 3 wide or something, it looks like. Then he backs off, and then he's up in the groove too much and takes out Keselowski and Bowman and just choked.
I felt bad for him because when I watched the race earlier this week, I knew Elliott won. That's all I knew about it going in, and I was like, okay, 11 to go, Almirola's leading. Okay, 10 to go, 9 to go. Like, oh, here we go, Clint Boyer crashed, and I'm like, God, it's like I don't know maybe it's just me, but I've noticed the Stewart-Haas teams do that a lot, where one of their cars will crash, and it ends up either one helping their driver win, or the other way, it'll just completely screw up their race. Because maybe this is just me again, but I'd say Stewart-Haas had the cars to beat. Like, I think at one point they were 1, 2, 3, 4.
They were for a long time there. It wasn't just for 1 or 2 laps. It was like for like 30. It seemed like
they were killing it, and the fact that one of those cars didn't win, I found it both kind of odd, but at the same time kind of fitting for how this season's been.
What was that?
My brother's dumbass friends.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they lost their brains when they hit puberty.
Oh, nice.
but yeah, I mean,
kids, it's going to happen to you too. So just wait for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chase Elliott, I mean, he got the W and stuff, so that's good for him. And also Chase Elliott Nation and stuff too. And he's one of the title favorites and stuff. But then it kind of sparked a little debate on Twitter. Like, some people were like, "Oh, I don't know why they're considering him a title favorite. He's so overrated. He's so overrated, guys." I don't understand how Chase Elliott is overrated. No one's given me any sort of factual evidence to back that up. He's always been consistent, and now he's finally winning, and now he's overrated. I don't get it.
The reason he's a title favorite is just because of the way this playoff is set up and the way it's lined up. I mean, you look at the tracks that were coming up in these last few rounds. Everyone kind of thought, based on last year, Dover could have been a good chance for him. He got it. Talladega, it could be a good chance for him. Martinsville, it could be a perfect chance for him to advance into the last race. I mean, there's a lot of races lined up that he has shown good performances at in the past. So, I mean, there's no reason to think that he couldn't be a title favorite.
No, but then they were just saying, he's just overrated his entire career. Overrated. He's just another Dale Jr., which makes no sense, because if you compare Junior's first 3 years in the Cup Series to Elliott's, it's not even close. Elliott's clearly better. I mean, he's finished in the top 10 all 3 years, top 5. I think he'll finish in the top 5, this year.
If 26 wins and 2 Busch Series championships is overrated, then what are our definitions? I mean,
I don't know.
If they're not Kyle Busch, they're not good enough.
I mean, look at Truex. It took him so long to blossom into what he is now.
I don't know. Some of you fans are you got really high standards. But, I mean, back to the race, though. It was pretty much a snooze fest at first. Stage 1, I tweeted this out. I had just gotten to my parents' house to watch the race, and I saw Bowman was about to get lapped, and I was like, gosh, these playoff standards, they're so low to where one of the so-called playoff drivers is getting lapped already in stage 1. He was able to get his lap back, and they were able to adjust the car well, and then he got up in that big wreck, so he's in the hole. Kyle Larson, he was my title pick, but Ganassi just keeps throwing an anchor in his career. I don't know. I'll probably talk about this more later, but pretty soon, I don't know when Larson's contract is, but eventually he has to be really selfish. Like, if Ganassi is not improved, what was that?
I said I agree. I think he has to get out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he has to be selfish here and stuff. I mean, we've seen it in other sports. For example, Kevin Durant leaving to go.
My dumbass friends.
What the? Okay. Anyways,
Sorry,
Kevin
it was
Durant
my dumbass
leaving.
brother.
You're good. Anyways, Kevin Durant leaving to go join the Golden State Warriors and stuff. That was him being selfish. And look, he's won 2 titles because of it and 2 finals MVPs. Larson has to be that selfish guy to where if Ganassi is not improved, if they're not a perennial championship contender, by the time his contract is up, then you got to go. Go like to wherever, like hopefully Joe Gibbs has some spots open, Stuart Haas. Just imagine Larson in a Larson and Joe Gibbs equipment. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
I mean,
or
Stuart Haas is right open, which is going to be discussed later on because of rumors who was going to that 41. But I think Larson would be a great fit with Tony Stewart's race team. It's just they're both dirt racers. Stewart's always talked highly about Larson. I think it would just be a perfect fit for Kyle Larson to go to Stuart Haas.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it just broke my heart to see him run this badly to his standards the whole race. I think right now the bottom 4: Bowman, Larson, and
okay, Jared, are we gonna have to have a Dr. Phil moment or something? You good?
Yeah, I just pointing out my medal.
So who's the bottom 4 again? Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson,
Amarola.
Almirola, of course, and who's the last one?
I think it's
Boyer. Boyer. Yeah, that's right, because he wrecked. So we have a pretty interesting bottom 4 right now. Plus, we're going to Talladega, which is going to make that even more crazier. So yeah, I can't wait.
And with all the playoff points Truex has, he's only 30 points to the good when he should be typically 50 points to the good, especially if he would have finished where he was running at Dover last Sunday. So Truex is one guy. If he wrecks at Dega like he did last spring,
year or spring, yeah,
he could be looking below that cutoff line coming into Kansas.
I mean, I said I don't see Truex making it past the round of 12. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens with that.
Yeah, he's just got to be really, really conservative at Talladega.
I just want to address something someone said in the chat. Larson go to Hendrick. Larson's not going to Hendrick. There's no spot for him at Hendrick.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening. And Hendrick, it's not. I mean, yeah, they've improved, but still, they got some work to do.
Yeah, they struggled this year too.
Yeah, they've still got some work to do.
And at times, CGR is with Kyle Larson has looked much better than Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah,
especially at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
that was bad at first.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess lastly, to conclude, I'd probably give this race a 6 out of 10 because the whole time, before, it was just a snooze fest and stuff. And the only reason that this was an epic finish was basically because, Harvick and Busch had their problems on pit road. And then, Clint Boyer, if Clint Boyer doesn't cause that caution, it's Almirola's race anyway. So yeah, so without this great finish to cap off this race, it probably would have been lower. But because of that, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Darian. I listened to the race on PRN, I think, or MRN, whatever it was called this weekend, because I was driving home, and I kept having to flip back and forth because they'd just be talking about how Kevin Harvick has a 10-second lead. And then, then the script totally flipped when Harvick had that tire issue. That's when the race really ramped up, and it got really exciting. And like I said, yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that 6 out of 10 rating.
I'm gonna be a little lower. I've been sort of doing this, especially like with tracks that I find more boring, but have good finishes. So I did this with Indianapolis, and I'll do this again. I'd say 5 out of 10 race, 7 out of 10 finish.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing as Jared because obviously the beginning part, from what I gathered and caught up on, is just a boring Harvick dominance race.
Why does this race have 2 races again? I don't get it.
Because it's the Monster Mile.
One of the few traditions NASCAR holds on to.
This is a track where they have to do a lot of gimmicks to keep it interesting, I think.
Yeah. I
know people were commenting when I was coming home. I was looking. They were commenting, "Hey, look, the stands look a lot better." Well, yeah, they took half of them out.
Yeah,
of course they're going to look better. Half full place now. It has half of the seats.
Yeah.
I did say something funny though. Someone suggested turning it into a roval by making them dive inside and go and pave the old horse track in there and just run them through there.
That's just a solution, pretty much. Just making it into a roval. Every track that sucks, make it into a roval, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want them to go on that.
No, same. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm waiting for let's make a Talladega rule for what can go wrong.
I know.
Well, I mean, Dover, it feels like it should be a more entertaining track than it is. And I guess it's had its entertaining moments. There's been oddly enough, there's been some huge crashes in the history of Dover there.
It's had
it washes down the track.
Yeah. I think back to Logano, his rookie year. He flipped there. 2008 had a bunch of big crashes there.
2005. Well, 2005, there was this one. I can't remember what his name was, but it was a Busch race, and this guy flipped 3 times.
Clint Boyer flipped in a Nationwide Series race too.
I want to say, because I was looking back at him, I think the biggest problem it has is it's a concrete track.
Right.
That's not, because when it was asphalt, the races, when I would look, seemed a lot better, especially as the asphalt got older. It's like I know that they were probably built around the same time or whatever, and repaved with concrete around the same time, but it's like a bigger, less fun Dover.
Bigger, less fun Dover?
or Bristol, whatever. I'm tired. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I
have to lock
mean,
my damn door. Why should I care about what track I mess up on?
Yeah.
I mean, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, now I got it back. But I mean, it's had some good racing under different like aero packages, but with the Gen 6, it's I don't know, it's just a straight line. It got so bad to the point where my stepdad called me in the room and he asked, Darren, why don't they just run restrictor plates here? I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, why not just put restrictor plates there? I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's a short track. You can't put restrictor plates there.
Where'd Gino go?
He I don't know. I guess he lost connection. But
He has a stop motion mic, I guess.
Well, the guys on here said, did anyone get a DUI this week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, as far as I know, that did not happen, at least from the world of NASCAR.
The Jimmy and Chad partnership did.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
So I guess we've kind of mentioned enough about Dover. Congrats, congrats, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't much
really,
to write home about other than Elliott winning.
Yeah, and then there were like 2 major crashes at the end that would affect the outcome of the race. But other than that, let's move on.
Yep. So let's talk about Jimmie Johnson and Chad Knaus.
Should we start at least at what happened before the race?
Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot to mention.
Didn't even finish a lap before having a problem this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the race.
God. This is Dale Jr. levels of bad luck. This is Truex levels of bad luck.
No, this isn't even close to that because at least those guys, they started their races. This is a championship team, a team that won the championship 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, and you can't even start the race because and it's just ironic. Maybe at that point Hendrick was like, "Nope, that's it. We're gonna dissolve this partnership. This is bad."
It's easily the worst Jimmie Johnson we've ever seen.
Definitely.
And what's bad is you do that a week after you almost won the race.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Are we sort of finally coming, even though he almost won last week, are we sort of coming to the realization that this probably is going to be his first winless season?
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. You never say never.
It's so hard to count him out, man. I mean, we got Talladega this weekend.
I mean, even Jeff Gordon had winless seasons. I mean, it can happen to anybody. Dale Earnhardt did. Petty had a bunch. I mean,
I'll say
the best do.
I'll say this. I'll give him until Martinsville. If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen before we get done with Martinsville, then I'll start to come to that realization.
That's the only place I give him a chance. Really.
Yeah, that's just you wouldn't give him a chance at Dega? I mean, but
he's not really the best plate racer. I mean, he's good, but at the same time, you have to have both luck and the cars. And aside from Bowman and Elliott, the Hendrick cars, those are the 2 Hendrick cars that are up there when you compare them to the 24 and the 48.
I'm not going to say he's not that good of a restrictor plate racer because I know he's won 2 Daytona 500s. He's won the summer race.
He's also DNF'd out of how many? I mean, it's more than most good drivers.
He's won at Talladega a few times. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance. Everyone has a chance. So.
Well, yeah, but I would not put him above guys like the Penske cars, Elliott, Almirola, Harvick. I wouldn't put him again. I wouldn't put his chances anywhere close to being as good as theirs, though. It's stacked against him.
Probably his chances to win this weekend is probably the same as like someone like a Suarez or a Bubba Wallace, I think.
Perhaps everything that's went on this week does hurt his morale levels, and maybe that plays a big factor into things.
How many more Vince Lombardi quotes can he use before he just admits it's a lost season? Like it's.
Oh, Danny, you got a super chat, buddy. Got a super chat there.
All right, let's see that. See what it is.
From inside Uranus. Again.
What a name.
I love that name.
Well, thank you for the $2. Jimmie not winning. What is this? 2001. Yes. I mean, 2001. He just ran like a few races. I looked up the stat before. He hasn't had a season since he started racing full time where he didn't get at least 2 wins. So this is crazy.
Well, and think about this too. Knaus and Johnson's partnership together is older than Haley Deegan.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. To put it in perspective, we were all either like 4 or 5 at that time, or 6. I can't.
Oh, wait.
We were very young when they first started racing in Cup together.
I was just about to say yes, but I don't think it is older because they didn't start working together until 2002, actually. So, and Deegan wasn't born until like 01, I think. So, no.
Okay, so almost, whatever.
Almost. It was this close. You were that close, though. You were that close.
Yeah, kind of like Johnson.
Okay. Allie, 1, 2, 3. Elliott is not a bust. How many times do we have to say this?
I
Dumb
don't
people
know.
will be dumb. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
No. No. I mean, it's just this is the only crew chief driver partnership that is still around from when I started watching, and really from like what when was the longest one aside from this one? If anyone in the chat knows, let us know.
Oh, I can't. I don't know. I can't. Like, not one comes to mind. To be honest with you.
I mean, there's so many of them that keep flipping so much, and that was the one that stayed consistent. So,
yeah, I can't think of one. I can't. I just can't. Usually, I'm pretty quick when it comes to that kind of stuff, but no, I can't think of one on the top of my head. But I will say this though. Today's news coming out. About Knaus going to Byron's team now to be Byron's crew chief. William Byron fans should rejoice right now. William Byron is, he's won in all pretty much everything he's been into since he's entered NASCAR up until this season. He's gonna win Rookie of the Year. The standards are pretty low when you're going against Bubba Wallace, but the future is definitely bright, and you can tell Hendrick. He's basically focusing on, Chase Elliott and William Byron. Those are the future of his program. That's the future of his team. He's going to say, you know what? The future's now. We got to start making moves here.
Yeah. He's got 3 young drivers that he needs to prepare to be the leaders of the team. Whether or not all 3 of these guys stay with it in the long run, that's another thing to be talked about. But yeah, we've got 3 young drivers that we need to focus on what's best for them. And I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with Darian Grubb. Don't get me wrong, he's not
going to move to competition director at Hendrick. They said. Oh,
okay. Well, that's not bad because he's not bad. He's really not. So
I think it's a testament to how bad just overall the cars at Hendrick right now are, and how far behind they fell. Because I think Radman talked about in his video that between putting all the shops together, between being behind with laser inspection and aero stuff, they've just been behind. They got some of the best minds in the business. And I think another thing, and I think a reason that we, and myself especially, probably overreacted about how they were doing earlier in the season is, if you remember, the last time they switched a bunch of stuff up with the shops and with the drivers and crew chiefs and whatnot was 2011. 2011, Johnson finished 6th in points, which was his worst. Junior finished 7th with 0 wins and 12 top 10s. Gordon finished 8th, and then Mark Martin was they didn't even talk about him because he wasn't that good. They were off that year. So I could expect that probably next year they might be a little off, at least for the first half. But I think that the whole end of the world, sky is falling, I think that maybe we overreacted just a little bit.
Yeah. And Rick Hendrick is a chemist. Like, he will move people around until
the Walter White of NASCAR.
Yeah, and Knaus is no exception.
Rick Hendrick is confirmed to be making meth, folks. You heard it here first.
It's true though. He is a chemist, and he will move people around. We saw that before the 2011 season. He moved, Gordon's crew chief, Junior's crew chief, all that stuff, and in the end, it worked out pretty well. It worked out pretty well too for both those teams. So I honestly wouldn't expect it to be any different this time, unless Byron happens to be some kind of bust. But I don't really see that happening. I don't see it though.
I've seen too much quick success out of Byron, going from 7 wins his first Truck Series season, 4 wins and a championship his first Xfinity Series season. There's too much talent right there.
Well, I made this comment comparison on Twitter, and I think I'm gonna edit it a little right here, like not the tweet itself, but just a little bit of like building onto it. And I said that for like non-NASCAR fans who don't understand, this is like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick splitting apart.
Yeah.
What if this is Bill Belichick with the next Tom Brady in William Byron? Because if you remember, Tom Brady was a 5th round draft pick. Nobody believed in him at all. And him and Belichick since then have just made magic. What if that's what happens here? I think that for Johnson fans, I think, whether or not the performance improves or stays the same or whatever, I think it's sad just because of how it's pretty much the end of an era between Lowe's and Knaus leaving. But at the same time, for William Byron fans, like, you got to be looking at this like, man, like if performance doesn't start going up at this point, I don't know what's going to go on.
And then also, by the way, it was 6th round, not 5th round. But also the roles are reversed. Nope, 6. The roles are actually reversed here when you think about it. When Junior wasn't doing good, people would always blame the crew chief here. Now Byron, who has had 0 wins so far in the Cup Series, is getting a 7-time champion as a crew chief. You think if William Byron's struggling, they're not going to blame him instead of the crew chief? I could see that happening. Like, oh, it's Byron. It's totally not Knaus. It's totally not Knaus there.
It'll definitely give him a bigger.
He's got pressure. He's got a lot of pressure there now. Like, there's really, I don't know. There should be really no excuse to making a 16-person playoffs. Like, really, honestly, all he has to do is just make the playoffs. If he doesn't win any races next year, I'll be fine with that. As long as he just makes the playoffs.
It's put up or shut up at this point.
With what the teams are capable of, there's honestly no reason why the entire 16-team playoff shouldn't consist of all 4 Gibbs cars, all 4 Hendrick cars, all 4 Stewart-Haas cars, the 3 Penske cars, and 1 other person. There's no reason why it shouldn't be like that.
It celebrates mediocrity more than any point system out there.
Yeah. And also that 1 other person might be, he was announced today. It was announced. We'll probably get into that later, but
yeah,
it might be that guy.
We'll talk about him in a bit.
I mean, is there anything more we can say on the Jimmie Johnson thing?
Well, Gino wasn't here. What's he got to say?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. The Wi-Fi is new and it goes out, tends to go out often. So, but I just think that it's kind of sad. It's like, I think you guys have touched on it. I was trying to listen in while I was getting the Wi-Fi back on, but I think just kind of sad, nostalgic wise, kind of a little, it's not necessarily the effect of the Gordon and Everham departing, because Everham could have stayed on and God knows how many championship Gordon would have. But I'm just excited to see the 24, my old number, get a good crew chief, and hopefully Byron can produce with it. And like you guys said, it's kind of put up or shut up time for Byron. I think this is his chance. And if he doesn't win a race next year, I'll be shocked. That's my goal. Playoffs and win a race.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I don't know about a win just yet. I mean, maybe just get that consistency going and stuff, and then a playoff run. But I don't.
Just because of the Fords are going to have a new body, and maybe they struggle like the Chevys have. That takes out a lot of winning cars like Stewart-Haas. But if they don't struggle, then yeah, I agree. It might be a struggle, but I think the door opens with the new Mustang body coming in. Maybe Ford's at a setback. Plus the new aero package, which is a big what if, like what's going to happen with that. It's a big change in the sport. So anybody, who knows, maybe the same 5 drivers win, or maybe we get new winners like Byron or possibly Bubba Wallace.
I don't see Ford struggling that much in the fusion, because if you compare the Camaro ZL1 to the Chevy SS, there is huge aerodynamical differences between those 2 cars. The way the Fusion compares to the new Mustang, they're actually not that far off.
There's obviously differences, but I don't know. I have to agree with Danny B there. I don't really see it being a huge difference. I don't see that much of a fall off, to be honest with you. They'll probably just pick up where they left off from this season.
Especially when you add in the new aero package, I don't think Ford's going to struggle as bad as Chevy has this year. But we might be surprised.
And also, what's funny is you said Bubba might win a race next year.
You never know.
I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious. I guess to end off this topic, I got to call out Jimmie Johnson fans. Some of you fans are the biggest crybabies and the biggest, you guys are spoiled, okay? And here's why. You know, everyone was complaining, oh, this is the wrong move. This is a bad move. This affects the legacy. Like, they've been struggling all year, and you're just going to pull the plug. Dude, he's won 84. He's gone 84 races, 7 championships. He has 1 bad season, and you guys have been get to complain? Try being a Junior fan. Try being a Chase fan or something like that, where you actually have adversity.
You know, think back to Jeff Gordon. So much success with Ray Abraham. He leaves to go start his own team. It's hard, I'm sure, for them, but they got over it. But they supported Ray Abraham, what he did, and then there's still great memories, great friendship there. And then when Gordon had a lot of success with Steve Letarte. Well, they announced Steve Letarte's going to Dale Jr. Honestly, Steve Letarte and Dale Jr. was a better fit than Steve Letarte and Jeff Gordon, in my opinion. So it'll be okay. It'll be okay, guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well,
and also 83 wins. 83 wins, by the way. I said 84.
Well, with it being so late in his career, too, if anything, this will help his legacy, because if he doesn't do good with his next crew chief, no one's going to remember. They're just going to remember, oh, it was Jimmy and Chad. They're not going to be like, oh, and then the last 2 years, he just sort of went off there.
I honestly forgot who the crew chief of the 48 is for next year now. I don't even remember.
Kevin Meandering.
Think of Dale Earnhardt. How many crew chiefs did he go through in his career?
I know he won with 4 crew chiefs. He won championships with.
I mean, yeah, there's so many. I mean, everyone remembers, like, more or less a lot of people remember Larry McReynolds because he won the 500 with him.
No, he was awful with McReynolds.
Yeah, Kurt Shelmerdine was his crew chief. He won, like those two, like he won titles with and stuff. But no, with McReynolds, all you won was the 500. That's it. I don't even know why he's always in.
That's what he was good at. Like McReynolds was basically like he makes good plate track cars. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, so I think we milked that story.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So let's say we got a lot of big topics here. Let's start with the first one that will transition into the other one. Kasey Kahne, who was scheduled to be the driver of the 95 for this year, had to step out of the car after Darlington due to issues of him just not being able to go the entire length of races. Has officially said that he has to give it up entirely for NASCAR. It's just that his body cannot withstand all the stamina that it needs to fulfill full 400, 500-mile lap races. It's too much for him physically. He is prepared to do more with his dirt sprint car team. Now, those cars take a lot of stamina too, because obviously there are a lot to control on dirt, but you're not having to control it for as long of a period.
And the thing people have to remember here is this will this will be a segue into the next topic, but his replacement was offered, like they've been talking to his replacement since March in terms of contract negotiations here. So Kasey Kahne, he was asked by them, like, hey, like, we're going to make the switch to Toyota and stuff. We're getting all that ready. Do you want to drive with us? And he turned it down like way before this. So Kasey Kahne, start of the season, he was like, you know what, I'm just going to run one more year and then I'm going to be done here. But just to have it end like this, it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. I mean, I remember as a kid, 04, just watching him finish second, and just having these awesome runs and stuff. And then he finally breaks through and gets that win the next year. And then he wins 6 races in his third year. And then all of a sudden now to have it end, like, just because of health, I don't know. It's a tragedy to me.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Having Kasey Kahne with that team has done a lot of good for that program because it's brought in a lot more sponsorship opportunities. It's brought in a lot more funding than, say, Michael McDowell would have. Nothing against Michael McDowell.
Right.
But it was obviously the better choice at the time with all the drivers that had an opportunity. I see what's going on there, Gino.
Yeah, she's I have a little interference over here.
I know.
Sorry about that, guys.
All-star. Get your game on. No,
sorry.
Hi.
How's it going?
Fiance problems, you know how it goes.
Wow.
All right.
You just wait.
Okay. All right, continue on.
What were we talking about?
Hey, am I going to be on What Incarnation's video now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This podcast has had everything tonight. You had, I don't know, like
man, Carnation's probably already got his clip down like 24 million times tonight. He's ready to upload all of our moments.
Hey, Carnation, I better see that little bit right there.
I don't know. Tonight's podcast has had everything. You had Jarrett's idiot brother's friends just get in the way. Then you have I don't know, Gino's girl just show up there. I don't know. This is an interesting one.
At this point, I'm just like, Claudia, are you going to show up and do the same thing?
Yeah.
Insert careless whisper in the background. My gosh, it is sad about Kasey Kahne though, because it's like I was thinking, and it was like he was the winner of the first race I ever went to in 2006 at Michigan, and it's just one of those.
Oh, yeah, I was there too.
You were? Oh
yeah,
I think we talked about this before.
Adam Sandler car or whatever.
Yeah, because Adam Sandler and who else was? I think it was just Adam Sandler. That one was the Grand Marshal.
Yeah,
but it's sad, man. It's sad seeing like one of the few guys left from when I was really little watching have to call it a quits, and for a health reason too.
I had a few similar. I had a few good memories of Kahne in person. I got to see him win Bristol in 2013. But then also I've seen some moments that was like crazy to see of Kasey Kahne. I saw him in 2010 when he got up on the wall at Bristol in the Nationwide Series race, if any of you remember that.
I do.
But I remember, seeing him, watching him on TV win the Coke 600. Obviously, last year we saw him win the Brickyard 400, which is now his last NASCAR win. That's crazy to think that. Which I don't know. I guess at the time we kind of all thought maybe that would be his last one, but
yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think it's good that Kahne is kind of like the Dale Jr. effect, where Dale Jr. stepped out when he had the concussion. He didn't push the issue. He took care of his body, tried to take care of his health while he could. And I think Kane's kind of doing the same thing. I think that's good for him to have that power to say, hey, it's time for me to step down from NASCAR competition. And we made the reference to dirt racing, where he's still going to be dirt racing, but that's probably like a quarter of what NASCAR races are. NASCAR races are 400, 500, 600 miles long, where dirt races are much, much. I don't know the exact numbers. I won't spew out random numbers, but I know they got to be a lot shorter than actual NASCAR races.
Never say never. He's still a young guy. He might decide one day, hey, I'd like to, I got an opportunity here with a truck series team. I'm going to go race the Eldora race in a truck series sometime.
He's an amazing truck series driver. 6 starts, 5 wins. And that one start he didn't win, he finished second. He's an amazing truck driver. So I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, that'd be
But
cool.
I mean, it's kind of not a surprise. Oh, go ahead.
For the time being, he's good to just focus on his sprint car team. That's very successful, by the way. That team's getting a lot of wins. A lot of good sponsorship going into that program. A lot of it was kind of I feel like his time with Hendrick was good for marketing purposes with his sprint car team. He made a lot of good connections that helped that program. And I think he's good to just focus on that for a little bit.
Yeah. And he was going to retire either way really soon.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He was 38.
Well, he was going to retire, this yeyear, anyways. He was just going to retire this year. He wasn't going to, race one more year. I mean, the team offered him a contract extension, and they even told him in detail, hey, we're going to try and switch to Toyota and stuff and try to get the Gibbs Alliance. We want you to be a part of that. And even with that, he said no. That his heart wasn't fully in it anymore. And, I mean, he just wanted to focus on his family and stuff like that, too. And also, just if you miss the whole season, it's not like he's really missing out on much anyways. He was running in the back and stuff, so it's not like he was missing out on much.
I think I still think a lot since his close friend Jason Leffler since he died. I think his heart just kind of been getting out of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know they were good friends like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were.
I have noticed his performance since about that time is really tapered off year after year,
Yeah,
year
'cause that
over
was
year
what,
performance.
2013.
Yep.
Yeah, so since then, 2013 was probably his last good season, like competitive wise. And after, since you guys make that connection, I totally agree with that.
And also, because that happened, I remember when that whole Leffler tragedy happened. That was in the summertime, and then since then, I think he got like 2-3 wins that season. So he's only won 3 races since then. So
Well, I think he won once in 14 also.
Atlanta.
3.
Yeah,
he won one after that in 13, 1 in 14, and then 17 was just that lucky win and stuff. As well.
I thought you meant 3 in that year and then hadn't won since. I was like, wait a minute.
No.
His last 3 wins was Bristol 2013, Atlanta 2014, and Indy 2016.
Don't forget Pocono.
No, it was Pocono, then Atlanta.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Now, I got to ask you guys this. Is he a Hall of Famer? Because that's been the question. Oh, he's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be honest. No. It's for the greatest of all time. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And what's sad, his career's, like, statistically, it's not even that much different than, say, maybe Dale Jr., but Dale Jr. has a better.
Well, he did. Yeah, it's like he was the most popular driver and, did more.
Dale Jr. is going to be remembered more for other things he did besides just driving. He's remembered for his fan presence, his stellar Busch Series career, his experience as an owner. That's why he is a Hall of Famer versus Kasey Kahne. Kasey Kahne was a good driver, had a lot of big moments. I just don't see him as a true Hall of Famer. He might still be inducted. I'm not going to say that Kasey Kahne doesn't deserve to maybe be considered that to some people, but I personally just wouldn't put him there.
Yeah, I already think Carl Edwards is on the fence. I don't know if he'll make it in or not. So I think I'd have Carl Edwards above Kasey Kahne in like a hierarchy scale. So it'd be interesting to see because I know Davey Allison got in and he had a lot going before he passed away, but then again he didn't have a championship, so NASCAR kind of skewed the requirements there with Davey getting in. So I think that's why an argument can be made for maybe a Mark Martin. Mark Martin's already in, and so Mark Martin and Carl Edwards kind of had similar careers in the aspect of runner-up finishes.
I think what hurts Carl Edwards in terms of him maybe being a Hall of Famer one day was just how he just walked away, and it's like almost like he just didn't care. It's like he didn't care about everyone he was leaving behind.
I think a big part of the reason Carl Edwards walked away is just because he kind of saw the direction NASCAR was heading, and I think he probably heard about the rumors of stage racing and was like, "Hey, I gotta get out of this, man."
And also, he would have won 3 titles under the old system, so I'd probably be he might have looked at that and he probably was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "You know what? I'm done."
Like the amount of time he finished second has kind of weighed on him a little bit. Like it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think that's a smart idea. I think himself, the way he would like just lead a lot of times in races and then maybe wouldn't get the win, I think he would have been a perfect driver for stage racing, but that's just me.
And also, I mean, when you go back to Kasey Kahne, you look at his career, and you brought up Mark Martin there. Yeah, Mark Martin didn't win a title, and he did win some races as well, but he was consistent. That's the thing. 5 straight runner-up finishes. I don't think you can really compare.
No. I'm not totally like I'm saying not comparing, but they have. If you look at it on like a blank slate, Carl Edwards and Mark Martin both have glaring holes.
Oh, okay.
And like I'm not saying like Edwards is Mark Martin level, but Edwards kind of in this era had a similar career in that kind of retrospect.
I mean, even 2006 when Kasey Kahne, like that was his second best points finish ever. Like, here's the thing: he won 6 races, but he almost missed the chase because there was a time period where like he went from 3rd to like 11th in the standings. And I remember watching when I was little, I was like, what? Like you have 5 wins and you're almost about to miss the chase. And then even when the chase did start, he had 6 wins and would finish 8th in the standings. Like you have 6 wins, but you can only manage a top 10 finish. You can't even at least get a top 5 there. At least Junior, when he won 6 races, he at least got a top 5 for his performance and stuff. So, like, that's a good season. But then I'm like, wow, he's really inconsistent. And then over at Hendrick, too, like, he had another opportunity there, and he squandered it.
Hey, real quick, Gino What Incarnation said he just uploaded your clip.
Oh, God.
That's
That's fast, man. Like Jimmie Johnson.
Oh, he just screen record, post, go. But going back to the original question, I don't think Kasey Kahne is. If I want to go to another football analogy, I'd say talent-wise, he'd be like a Jay Cutler, not personality-wise. He's a much better person. But talent-wise, I would put him at like a Jay Cutler level where it's like, yeah, he had flashes of brilliance, but half the time he was just there.
Yeah, he threw an interception. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
DNF or something.
and I think something that really separates a lot of there's like a lot of different tiers. There's obviously the atrociously bad drivers and mediocre drivers and good drivers. And I think Kahne is a good driver. But then there's great drivers and just legends. I think what separates Kahne from being a great driver in NASCAR, instead of being a good driver, is the fact that Kahne made a lot of mental errors in his career. And there was a lot of times where he probably, with the cars he had, probably could have had 10 to 15 more wins in his career. And it wasn't like a bad luck. It wasn't that he ran out of fuel. It was one of those like, he sped on pit road or, one of those kind of things. And so I can't put him Hall of Fame, but knowing NASCAR's standards with the Hall of Fame, 20 years from now, he might be the best one left that isn't in the Hall of Fame. So,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him there, but this is NASCAR we're talking about, so he'll probably get in.
I honestly think that, and this is for a whole nother discussion, but I honestly think NASCAR's Hall of Fame, their classes should be Hall of Fame classes should be 3 instead of, what is it, 5 or 6?
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, because it's like too many. I don't know. It just feels like we're gonna have all these guys in, and then there's not gonna be enough guys left to induct. You know what I mean? I agree with 3.
There have been, I think, like just over 3,000 drivers ever in NASCAR. It's like you keep clipping away 5 good ones each year.
Yeah.
Hey, we're joined by a new face.
How's
a new
it going,
face
y'all?
who's old.
Sorry, I'm late. Hopefully I wasn't interrupting any great conversations there.
Oh, no, we were just...
It's okay. Eric has switched roles with me. I'm the one who's actually here the whole time for once, and then Eric is coming in late with us.
Yeah. I have egg all over my face. I'm very embarrassed. But good to be here now.
So we were just talking about the whole Kasey Kahne deal, whether he's a Hall of Famer or not. You ran a poll on that. What was the poll?
Oh, yeah, I ran a poll because I saw a few people talking about it. I think most people were arguing he probably wasn't. Nobody's going to argue the fact that Kasey Kahne didn't have a successful career. How many wins did he have? 18 wins. Yeah, made the playoffs at least a handful of times. That's a successful career by any judgment. But yeah, I ran a poll. I think last I checked this morning, it was over 350 people had voted, and it was like around 74% of y'all said no, he is not a Hall of Famer. I would agree. And honestly, the voting is about where I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be more like 70-30 or 65-35.
Mine was like 73, 27, 28, something like that.
It's about what mine was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But he's had a good career. When you've raced with Hendrick Motorsports, though, for a good portion of your career, you're supposed to win 10 or 12 races at a minimum. Otherwise, you're a bust. Like, I don't know, who would we count? Maybe Casey Mears didn't win that many races, but he didn't run that many races with Hendrick, or Brian Vickers,
Nemechek.
Yeah.
Mark
Martin.
Jerry Nadeau as well.
How many wins did Dale Jr. get with Hendrick? He got close to 10, right?
He had a 4-3 win season, so there's 7.
9. He had 9.
Okay, if you count like his Budweiser duels and
it's like, then it'd be a little closer to like 13 or 14.
Yeah, so I guess he did okay for Hendrick standards.
What's even crazier is that people were like, "Oh, dude, do a bus video on Kasey Kahne."
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't get it. Like, you guys want me to do a bus video on everyone. First Chase Elliott, now Kasey Kahne. Like,
I'll read out Kane's stat line really quick.
Okay, if you get at least 10 wins in your career, you're not a bust.
You're not a bust. Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
So I'm looking here, and this will be his final career numbers. He had 529 starts over 15 years, 18 wins, 93 top 5s, 176 top 10s, 27 poles, led 4,678 laps, finished with an average start of 14.5, an average finish of 17.7. And out of those races, out of the 529 races he had, 69 of them were DNF'd. 324 of those starts were lead lap finishes, and he never failed to qualify for a race.
What a bust! What a bust! Bust! I'm
I don't know
a
how-
bust video on him.
I don't know how some of y'all feel about this comment, but Sylvie Gang said if Kahne is not a Hall of Famer, neither is Dale Jr. He might be trolling.
No.
See,
I think Junior gets in based on Danny
just-
already stated it earlier. I think Junior gets based in on like just more than his racing career.
Jr. is better than Kasey Kahne stats-wise too, so
pretty
that's
much,
an unfair argument.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I went into other things. Dale Jr. is didn't just have a fairly decent driver career. He had a great Busch Series career, 2 championships in the Busch Series.
Mhm.
He is a great car owner. I think he's going to be remembered more for being a car owner than he is for a driver.
They need to
Possibly.
move that team up to the Cup Series someday. Please, I hope someday they'll move them up.
Boney Chuck says Junior will get fan voted Hall.
Yeah, I think Sylvie Gang is a Gordon fan stuck in 2004.
Oh,
Ooh.
Hey, I was a Junior fan that just left 2004, so and I didn't even watch that year.
What's funny about me is I was a Gordon fan for most of my young childhood, but then when Dale Jr. switched over to Hendrick in 08, I became more of a Dale Jr. fan.
Damn, so you weren't a Junior fan during his Budweiser years?
Well, I mean, I wasn't against him, but I think I figured out I was a Hendrick fan early on in life.
You're a fake fan. Get out of here. No, I was kidding. I'm just playing with you.
I'm a bandwagon Kenseth fan. I became a fan in 04 just because he won the championship in 03.
Yeah, Eric was a Junior fan too. He was a Junior fan for a short period.
First race I watched, I don't remember what race it was. It was in 04. Dale Jr. won, and I was a first grader or whatever at the time. So for like the next month, I thought he was the best driver in the world. I just assumed he was.
Atlanta? Was it Atlanta?
It might have been. I have no idea. I barely remember.
Keep this in mind. I'm 23 now, so in 08, I would have been 12 to 13, depending on what time of the year it was. So you can't hold anything against me for not really knowing who to root for back then.
You're 23. You're old.
Old man. Old man down.
I'm the youngest one on the podcast virtually every week, so
I'm the oldest.
I get to say that.
Yeah, but I guess in conclusion, Kasey Kahne, solid career. Hopefully he, has fun in retirement. I would like to see him do a truck race sometime again. It's kind of a send-off race or whatever at like Eldora or something like that. But great career and stuff. Had an awesome career, 18 wins, and rookie of the year. And yeah, that's a lot more than a lot of other drivers too. So congrats.
All right. So real quick here, I want to kind of transition into talking about Kahne's replacement. And a lot of people like to argue, oh, he just hasn't really ever been given a good chance. That's not true. For the early start of his career, Matt DiBenedetto was a developmental driver for Joe Gibbs Racing. And let me just read you 2009 and 2010 when he was running some races for them. 2009, he was age 17. He ran one race. He started 4th, finished 14th. Not too bad for a 17-year-old. 2010, age 18, he ran 6 races that year, had an average start of 11.5 and an average finish of 22nd.
That was like Xfinity Series?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was awful.
He got 2 top – he's actually had – let me just read you off for everything. He's had only 2 top 10s in his entire Xfinity Series career. That was in 2010. He has an average finish of 33.5 over 6 years in the Xfinity Series. His Cup Series career, 4 years, he has 4 top 10s, an average start of 31st, an average finish of 28th. The K&N Pro Series East, he has 3 wins, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 4 pole awards, an average start of 4th, and an average finish of 8th. So pretty great K&N Series career. ARCA, he only ran 2 races there. He got 1 top 10, average finish of 9th in ARCA. Honestly, I like Matt, but I'm going to agree with people when they say he's a little overrated.
He was a bust there. It was looking like he's about to be a bust there for a second.
Early
part of his career.
If you ask me, if it wasn't for the popularity he gets from people on the internet, he would easily go in my 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about series.
Wait. You think he's overrated now?
based on everything, this is his current stats, man. This is up to 2018.
Ooh.
This is everything he's done, and it's not that impressive.
Well, considering that, okay, he was a really young driver. He was a really young dude when he was given the opportunity to drive for Joe Gibbs in the Xfinity Series for a moment there. But then, he sort of made a career driving for these smaller teams and stuff, and he's ran consistently in those to sort of get the opportunity he's gotten now. So I think it's just he just earned that ride fair and square. I even said on Twitter, this is his opportunity, so there's no more excuses after this. So we're going to find out if he is overrated or not here in a second for 2019. This is just a great opportunity. I just want to clarify. Everyone's assuming that, this is just going to be Furniture Row and stuff, part 2. No, not in the start. It is not, okay? Furniture Row has a lot more resources than Levine Family Racing does. Like when Furniture Row made the switch to Toyota and the Joe Gibbs Alliance, they were already established. They were coming off a Final Four appearance from 2015 in RCR equipment. So you can't really compare them there. I think a good start would be maybe if he's starting to run somewhere in the top 15s, the top 20s, maybe he might sniff the postseason just for a little bit and might barely get in, or he might miss it by a little bit there. So that's my expectations for next season.
Now, are they buying Furniture Row's equipment?
I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
What I heard, Furniture Row has to sell or give all of its cars and stuff back to JGR. I don't know as far as anything else is concerned. I don't know what Furniture Row earned, but I don't think they're selling much, if any. But, yeah, I think I would agree. And maybe this isn't popular, but I do think Matt DiBenedetto is overrated today in 2018. I think because he's likable and funny and has – you read off the stats a minute ago, Danny. In the Cup Series, he's got an average start of 31st and average finish of 28th. I would argue, yes, that is slightly overperforming in that equipment. So because of all that –
Even in the Xfinity Series where maybe he could have – you could say maybe he's going up against some lower talent. Maybe he can do a little bit better there. No, he's still an average finish at 28th.
He's a good driver. He's a driver that if he was driving, in top equipment, he'd make the playoffs most years. But I don't think he's, the next Jimmie Johnson that we just don't know about yet. That's how some people seem to talk about Matt DiBenedetto, and I don't think I think that's pretty far from the truth. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Darian. I expect this next year. I expect that 95 car to run top 20 most weeks, occasionally break into the top 15. Probably not make the playoffs, but they'll have an outside chance. They'll be in the conversation. I expect them to be they're going to go from a third class team. They're going to vault themselves into consideration in that middle class with Roush and RCR. They're probably going to be in that same conversation, largely due to the Toyota. I think it's going to be due to the Toyota partnership more so than the Matt DiBenedetto driver change because, we just talked about Kasey Kahne. I think Matt DiBenedetto and Kasey Kahne are very similar driver talent-wise. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. We obviously haven't seen him run great equipment yet, so maybe he'll completely prove me wrong. But yeah. I think people need to pump the brakes and make sure, I'm excited for DiBenedetto. I think this is as good as it gets for him. I think, has he done enough to earn this ride? More or less. I mean, who else is going to get this car? There wasn't that many other big names on the market that made sense. So I'm not shocked to see him get this ride at the end of the day. But has he earned it? I mean, he's run about where he's supposed to run in a 30th place car on a given week. So it is what it is. I'm excited for him though.
Would you rather have them give the ride to let's say a Ross Chastain instead of DiBenedetto?
I would give it to DiBenedetto over Chastain. Well, here's the thing. If I was actually Levine Family Racing, I would consider Ross Chastain over DiBenedetto just because I feel like, especially in the last few weeks, he's got he's become he's got a little bit of a media storm behind him. He's now on people's minds more than Matt DiBenedetto is. That being said, I think they're pretty equal driver talent-wise. I don't think either of them is ever going to be a champion in the Cup Series. That's my opinion. I don't think they ever will be. I think they're both playoff driver potential, but not championship driver potential. And so
I'd put Ross Chastain a lot higher over DiBenedetto. Don't get me wrong. I like DiBenedetto. I think he's a good driver, and I think a lot of people really discredit how much drivers, especially really young drivers, have to develop early in their career, and how pushing them up is just going to stunt that development. And I think that's one of DiBenedetto's biggest problems. But I mean, Chastain, his whole career has outran where his equipment has been. So, and the moment he gets put in good equipment, he delivers. Because like when he'd be in the 4-car the last few years, he's running it. I mean, I remember at Chicagoland each year, he's always in the top 10. He's always in the top 10 with a team that should be starting parking. I mean, I'm not saying he's a Jimmie Johnson, not even saying he's a Carl Edwards or a Mark Martin level driver, but I do think that given the right equipment, I think he could easily be a winner.
All right. Would you guys care if I read out Ross's statistics?
Go for it.
All right. Dang, I wasn't really aware of how many Cup Series races he has been in this season. He has been in 28 races.
Yeah, he's been
for
Wow.
what's the team name? Premium Motorsports or something like that.
But he's been going for points in the Xfinity Series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been managing a busy schedule. But anyways, let's take a look at what he's done through his career. K&N Pro Series East statistics. He ran 2 races in 2014, got a top 10, led 4 laps, average start of 8th, average finish of 11.5. Camping World Truck Series statistics. Between 8 years, he's had 5 top 5s, 15 top 10s, 2 pole awards, led 234 laps, average start of 17.5, and average finish of 17.3. Let's see. Xfinity Series over 5 years, 135 races, 1 win, which of course was just a few weeks ago, 4 top 5s, 15 top 10s, 1 pole award, average start of 20.4, and an average finish of 19th place. Cup Series career, well, I don't know if there ain't really enough on the Cup Series yet to really say anything. But looking at his Xfinity Series career, and you considered majority of the time what team he's ran for, I think that shows me a lot more potential with him more so than Matt. But that's just me.
No, I agree. I think Ross Chastain is a better driver. I give Matt DiBenedetto. The reason I'm not surprised they went with DiBenedetto is he's spent more time in. I don't know. I'd actually be curious to see who's run more races. I'll bet DiBenedetto's run more Cup races than Ross Chastain, but I bet it's not by a whole lot.
He has. It's a lot more. It's a lot.
Okay,
more.
maybe it is. I feel like he's been here. He's been in the Cup Series full time now for like 2 years at least, right? Something like that. Anyway.
I think 3, something like
Maybe
that.
3.
2016 was when he got that 6th place finish at Bristol.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think I think the problem with both those drivers is that they're never going to be champions because their whole careers are going to have to go through Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott and Eric Jones, and they're never going to beat them unless. And I just don't see them ever getting a good enough equipment to have a chance of beating them. But yeah, I think Ross Chastain maybe would have been a better pick. I'll be honest, maybe would have been a better pick. But I think the story with Matt DiBenedetto choosing to leave Go Fast Racing to seek out a new organization is intriguing, and both drivers are very popular, so you couldn't really go wrong there. I'll be excited to see what he does. This
is a pretty big risk too when you think about it. I mean, yeah, he could have stayed over at Fastgo, and he would have kept running in the back, but I mean, there's not really any expectations with that team either. So he probably could have just made an underdog career just doing that. But, now you're going to this team that's going to have all this backing from like Gibbs and also from Toyota. So now you have a ton of expectations put on you to perform. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he handles that. And also another interesting story, the 32 is now open. And the 2 biggest names I've been hearing for that are Joey Gase and Alex Labbe, who is the Canadian champion. I'd rather have Alex Labbe in there, because he is a champion, even though it is in the Canadian series. Joey Gase, no. But that's just me.
Alex Labbe makes more sense to me because he's already been associated with him.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing change its name. Huh?
The Fastgo.
Yeah.
Or Fastgo. Go Fast.
Station,
Same thing.
I know for a fact he might not have been in the best equipment, but a gas station? No, he wasn't working there.
Well, close enough.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm happy for him, and I hope he proves people wrong. I hope he succeeds. I say if he makes the chase next year, that's even as low of a standard as it is, it is still huge, and I think that it
that
secures him
hard,
for another 2 or 3 years.
It's not that hard to make the playoffs though. So if he makes it, I won't be surprised. Like it's
I
not
don't
that
know.
hard.
But you look at drivers who missed out this year, like Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray, Daniel Suarez. Those are
17th.
names.
17th though. That's the cutoff. The cutoff is 16th. That's a
I'm just
lot.
saying, you're telling me that that Matt DiBenedetto is supposed to be better than Daniel Suarez, Ryan Newman, and whoever I just said, Jamie McMurray.
Right.
He could be, but I can't guarantee that. If he
I never
gets
said
playoffs
he'd
next
be
year,
better than them. I don't know if he'll like Suarez. I don't know about that. Like I've been on Suarez, but DiBenedetto better than Suarez or Newman? I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Well, I think with Suarez, isn't it rumored that he's going to the 41?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately.
Well, that could be a big opener for Suarez. Maybe he gets with the right team at right combination at Stewart-Haas, and maybe he performs. But yeah, that is like a big sore that he did not do that well in Carl Edwards' ride, where Edwards was almost a champion in the 19 team.
See, thank you. Dino agrees with me.
I like Suarez. Don't attack me. I know there's a lot of Suarez fans, but I'm just saying that the stats are there where he had Edwards' team, and then Edwards' crew chief left, and he got a new crew chief, and now that old crew chief is back. So it's just like, I don't know. Suarez.
I want Suarez. I want Suarez to become like this big winner and champion, just so I can have Carnation and myself hold clips over Darian's head for the rest of my life.
Just hold me accountable.
Well, I mean, Joey Logano left Gibbs and became.
Here we go. That's the same one I always hear all the time. It's not comparable. It's not comparable. No, it's not. It's not comparable.
Age doesn't make it non-comparable. That's the only difference.
Yes, it does.
I think that time period, the 20 car, was just fading big time because Stewart left it when it was going downhill. It was downhill the majority of the time that Logano was in it. I mean, it was
Eric's boy stepped in and won 6 races?
Yeah, so there wasn't anything wrong with that car in 2013.
No, that was a new car though. It was brand new equipment. They were
and a new crew chief. Yeah, I want to defend Daniel Suarez because I talked about it in my video today. I'm really excited if he gets that 41, which it seems like that's going to happen because I think he's going to make the playoffs next year. I can guarantee if he makes it to the 41, he will make the playoffs next year and win a race, at least one race. You heard it here first, guaranteeing.
Look, believe it or not, I probably want Suarez to succeed more than anyone on this panel. Believe it or not.
Maybe
I know it doesn't seem like that, but I do. I want him to succeed. But my thing is, if he gets the 41 ride, and if he does not make the playoffs, a 16-person playoffs, by the way, where all you need to do is win one race.
Jared Edwards, Darian bashes Suarez every week, but refuses to see the 43's downfall in performance from last year to this year.
No. Hold on. Thank you. I'm so glad. I am so glad you brought that up, Jared, because I talk about that all the time. Sorry, yes, Almirola compared to Bubba this year, it's bad too. I don't play favorites here, okay? I can call Bubba out too the same time every week as well, just like I do Suarez. Okay? I mean, sorry, Bubba, even though it is. No,
you don't talk about how Bubba is that way.
I say Bubba never wins all the time.
It's like our own little cutaway gag each week that you have to say something about Suarez.
Well, no.
I say something about Bubba too.
It's Darian Suarez bashing segment.
Time out. No one's let me say anything here. I feel like I will defend Darian on this because even earlier today he was saying maybe with this new aero package, maybe Bubba can win. Actually,
Well, Gino said that, and I said no, that's not going to happen. Come on, like that's not going to happen.
No, you've said it before. Though. Like, okay, Darian at times will admit that his favorite driver, Bubba Wallace,
he's trash. He's been trash this year.
Yeah, and I will admit that my guy Alex Bowman, he's not that good. No,
Bubba's thing, my thing was beginning of the year, okay, he's with Petty. If he can just keep the car where it is, then he's fine. I remember when Almirola was driving it, 2017, I think he finished even though despite the injury, he finished in the 20s or something like that, and he would finish it in the 20th in points every season. Now,
Jared
Bubba,
Edwards is another good one. The Black Flags Matter Suarez bashing is like a cutaway in an episode of Family Guy every week.
Basically, kids, don't be afraid to say that your favorite driver is trash sometimes.
Like, he's been trash this year, and also Bubba's just a horrible road course racer. He's just terrible. It's so bad, it's scary. I didn't know somebody could be that bad at road courses. I had no idea. I thought Junior was bad, but then I was like, oh my gosh.
NASCAR fan 42, man, Suarez stole Darian's girl or something.
No, but look, he's been trash all season, and I can admit that as well. I don't play favorites on here. So
whoever makes the brakes for the 43 car needs to be fired.
Yeah.
Or just fire the whole team. And if you need to fire Bubba for underperformance, you can go ahead and do that.
Bring Richard Petty back to drive, crew chief, and spot that whole team.
Yes.
Yeah. They need a resurgence there. And what's crazy is they signed Bubba to an extension through 2020. So hopefully there's improvement there.
At least he's secured. Now, I want to say something on this 41 car. You know, we're all saying, well, it looks like Suarez is going to go there. Guys, there's one key factor that we're not thinking of here. Think back to when this driver started up with Junior Motorsports' only time in the Truck Series. At the time, this team was with Chevy, and they had big plans for this guy. Now they switched over to Ford. He's joined their Xfinity Series program. He's been with that program now 2 years, and he's obviously shown that he's getting better. Where does Cole Custer fall into this? Because he's obviously the guy that Haas has had in mind for a long time, because Haas has been with him since he was in the Truck Series. There's got to be something there to get Cole Custer a spot, and this is like the only time that I'm going to see it coming anytime soon. Harvick isn't quite ready to retire. Almirola's still got plenty of time. Clint Bowyer's still got plenty of time. This is the only time that I see a ride opening up anytime soon, or else they're going to lose Cole Custer.
Well, I thought he was going to be the replacement for the 41 after this season, because when Kurt Busch signed him, I thought that was a no-brainer. But
I still think – I'm not going to say Suarez has got it. I think that Cole Custer, to me, makes more sense. Mm-hmm. But that's just how I see it.
Cole Custer would make a lot of sense, but the problem is Gene Haas said a few weeks ago Cole Custer's not getting that car, so we can rule Cole Custer out for I don't know what reason. I guess.
And what are they doing with him?
I don't know. He doesn't. I think does he have an Xfinity Series win yet, or is he not one?
Yeah, he's won.
He's won this year, and he won Homestead last year
by like 12 seconds.
Well, then I don't know. I really don't know.
Cole Custer, you know, I've joked online to a guy who I know who's a big fan of him that he's not that good. I'm not going to say that. Cole Custer's not a bad driver, and in my opinion, Cole Custer would probably make sense to me to go to the 41. But I didn't see that Eric was talking about. So I'll kind of take that back for now.
I mean, I thought Custer would go there too, and then the next day I read this report, and I'm like, why would he not consider Custer that guy?
In my opinion, I don't know what he's doing anymore.
Don't forget though, the 32 is an option too.
Custer didn't win this year, it says.
And there's one driver that I hate to say this because I like him. Don't get me wrong. I know he's not been the best, but I like him. I don't know that AJ Allmendinger is going to have a ride next year.
No, he's not. He's done. He's gone.
He'll show up 2 or 3 times a year, race the road courses, lose them on his own, and then complain about something.
He just beats himself too much. Like I don't. That's not someone I want to sign. Coming off his contract being up and stuff. That's just someone who I would never sign to drive any sort of car.
I mean, him at a road course is like a performance masochist. He just likes self-infliction.
Maybe he could go fast. Maybe.
No, I
don't think he will. I think he's at NASCAR. I think he goes sports cars or something.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't mean to revert back, but I never actually got a chance to defend Suarez. I just said that he was going to win a championship next year. I want to defend Daniel Suarez because I uploaded a video today where I talked about him a little bit, and I want to kind of reiterate some of those points on here. I think Daniel Suarez, while he has not run well in the 19 this year, and a lot of people are iffy as to whether or not he deserves to go to the 41. I really hope he gets it, and I hope people give him a fair shake in it because, I don't want to compare it to Joey Logano too much, but one thing that Suarez has not had in his career is stability. He came into the Cup Series 2 years ago, like last minute. It was unexpected. Boom, he's in the Cup Series. What do you do now? He's obviously not ready. He barely won an Xfinity championship. He was good in the Xfinity Series, but let's also not forget, since he left that 19 car in the Xfinity Series, the 19 car has been irrelevant. So he's the best driver in the Xfinity Series that car has ever seen. He's not as good as Carl Edwards, that's obvious, but we also have to remember a month into his rookie season, his crew chief that helped Edwards get to that near championship left out of nowhere. So he all of a sudden had a rookie crew chief in the Cup Series with him these last 2 years, and sure, it hasn't gone that well. Let's also not forget, And I think this is the biggest reason I want him to go to Stewart-Haas right now is because Joe Gibbs Racing is so unstable with their driver lineup. I mean, we've seen they've already lost Noah Gragson. He's going to Junior Motorsports. They couldn't hold on to him. Christopher Bell is unhappy in the Xfinity Series. He wants to go to the Cup Series, but they're like, nope, we got to run another year of Xfinity. They've already gotten rid of Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth. At this point, there's so many people gunning for that seat that that Suarez has, that I want him to go to a place where there's not that much pressure. The only guy he's going to have to watch out for is Cole Custer, who Gene Haas and Tony Stewart seem to not like for some reason. So I hope he goes to the 41 because I think it'll be the breath of fresh air that he needs. And I think he'll make the playoffs next year. That's all I want to say earlier.
And
Sorry.
on top of this, also, Cole Custer hasn't won this year.
Yeah, I saw
he
people
hasn't
saying
No,
that.
no, he has.
No, he
No, he
hasn't.
hasn't. No, he hasn't.
It's on Racing Reference. He hasn't won.
Could have
He's
sworn
only-
he got a win this year.
He's
No.
finished second quite a few times.
Maybe in the Truck Series.
He doesn't even run the Truck Series anymore.
I
hasn't.
swear,
It's-
I
I looked
swear,
up-
I thought he won a race this year.
It was Homestead. I think Homestead is his only Xfinity win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go on it again.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I
I forgot about the
it was a
Homestead one,
race
but
he
y'all
won.
are right with that one.
So
Racing
is it
reference
totally
never
confirmed that-
lies.
If his name is spelled
Oh,
Chase
yeah?
Briscoe
I-
or Christopher Bell, maybe.
I guess he hasn't. I swear I thought there was one he won. Never mind.
Chase
Is it
Briscoe,
totally confirmed Kurt Busch to the 1?
it's not confirmed, but it seems like. I mean, there was that report that basically said confirmed like a month ago, but we haven't heard anything from it since.
Technically, it's not even been confirmed that Truex is going to the 19 yet.
Yeah, it's
so.
true.
They
That
plastered
could be
it
a landing spot for Chastain if they want to take a gamble.
all-
I mean, if they
That'd
like
be a
what they saw
gamble.
in the Xfinity program, they could probably move him up. If they
Oh,
wanted.
for the one car. I thought
I
you were
would
talking about the
not.
19 for a second. And I was like, whoa, hold on.
I wouldn't want Chastain in the one car just because, I mean, we know that Kyle Larson is an amazing talent. I don't want to, right off the bat for Chastain's career to start getting tarnished because he's in equipment that he can't keep up front. I think he's an incredibly talented driver, but I don't think he's a Kyle Larson. And I feel like
Fair
that
enough. Yeah.
he would be like a 15th place driver at best in that car.
I want Chip Ganassi to go get Kurt Busch because he's an established veteran that can win now. And I feel like Chip Ganassi Racing is a team that's on the upswing. Like you look at Roush, you look at RCR, they keep replacing drivers left and right. And, like Newman being kicked out for who they bring in, Hemrick. Like that's not an upgrade. They're kind of like rebuilding. I don't think Chip Ganassi Racing needs to take a chance on a young guy. They need to bring in an established veteran because they're trying to win now. I think they're starting to hit a
One
period in their point.
One thing Chip Ganassi Racing is good at is wasting drivers' careers and just ruining others. We've seen it time and time again.
So harsh.
And just Chastain
not
to stay
wrong.
away from them. Chastain needs to stay the hell away from them as far as possible, and so does Kurt Busch.
Well,
I would rather
there's an
have.
option.
I can list off a lot of drivers right now whose time has been wasted with Ganassi.
Who have they had that's good though, other than Larson? They've had McMurray. He's
Sterling
not that
Marlin. Sterling Marlin was good. towards the end
Montoya
of his career.
finished top 10 in points.
good. Yeah, Montoya wasn't good in the Cup Series. They made, I think,
But-
Casey Mears. Casey Mears was decent. He's pretty good.
But
Reed's
think
decent,
of, think of how many other people that have been with them. We had Reed Sorensen. We had David Stremme. We had
all garbage.
yeah.
That
I mean,
guy who was good in the other series but would rather not have us talk about his stint in NASCAR.
Montoya? Like who are we talking
No,
about?
Dario Franchitti.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, there you go. You don't
Yeah.
even half of us don't even remember.
That's right.
He was with
He didn't even finish the season.
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
Ganassi Racing, it's just, I feel like they're just, I hate to use this term, but just cancer. You just take the life. They just take the lives of other drivers, no matter if they're good or bad, and they just waste them.
I'll go nerd term. They're the dementors of NASCAR.
Oh,
Get out of
They
here.
suck any happiness
Danny,
and cheerfulness
Danny,
out.
kick him out. Kick him out of the podcast just for
You don't like
being
Harry
a
Potter?
nerd.
All right,
Harry
fine.
Potter references aren't allowed now? What happened?
This is a
Darren
NASCAR
butthurt that
podcast.
people called him out earlier.
Oh no.
Oh, about Bubba.
About Suarez, Bubba,
Well, I say people suck all the time, though. So
Yeah, it's sort of your shtick.
I think I've been. Yeah, I mean, I make bus videos. So it's like, I just.
Well,
like,
here's something though that
yeah.
I was kind of thinking with Chastain. So Ganassi is in the Chevy family, right?
Mhm.
What if Chastain goes over to JRM at some point? Does some races at Ganassi, some at JRM, and as much as Bowman seems like a good guy, I mean, if he doesn't deliver in the next few years, I don't see Alex Bowman as a huge sponsorship draw. And if you have someone who's relatively young that can win, why not? Or to replace Jimmie Johnson.
as good as that sounds, right now there's nothing for JRM that they can do.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Because, I mean, you got Pilot is putting the bill up for Michael Annett. Why? Well, that's another discussion. We don't want to get
They like
into that.
burning money.
We've already talked about that enough. But you got, Noah Gregson's going to be with him for, I say, about 2 years. And I even though a lot of people say don't think this, I'm still thinking Noah Gregson is who I would want to keep an eye out for the 48 replacement one day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's just me though. But you got Tyler Reddick is gonna be just see.
I don't see anything there.
I don't see him in the Cup ride. Not with a good team.
He had my attention when he got the first one of the year, but after that, not really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he had my attention when he got his first career Xfinity win last year at Kentucky. I was like, wow. Well, and then he's going to Junior Motorsports. He's going to get William Byron's ride. Let's see what he does. And he's just one win at Daytona. So it's been very disappointing this year. And also Gregson, that's someone, I don't know, like it's kind of early to do championship picks now, but that's my top guy for 2019 Xfinity Series title, just for with the ride he's going after now.
And then you got Justin Allgaier. I think Allgaier's got that ride until he retires.
Yeah, I don't see Allgaier moving. He seems to be pretty content. Just
as long as he's got that Brandt sponsorship still, he'll be set.
Yeah.
The guy who owns Brandt, for some reason, I've actually got him as a Facebook friend, and you can just. Anyways, you can just tell by what he does in post that he's very happy with the partnership that they've got with him.
I mean, yeah, I would be too. It seems like a good deal. I've noticed Junior Motorsports does a really good job of maintaining sponsorship. And obviously Dale Jr.'s name has to do a lot because Richard Petty Motorsports sucks, and yet they hold on to sponsors pretty well too. But I think that is impressive.
And also, you got to give a shout out to Michael Annett there too. He's holding on to his sponsor despite his runs there. So yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, you're bad if your family dumps you as a sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll say this: he's always had a nice looking car. The Pilot paint scheme always looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Always has a few bumps and dents in it though.
Just buff that right out.
It's like a Trevor Bain car if it were a Chevy.
So, is there anything else that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I guess before picks, a record was broken last weekend. Christopher Bell, 6 wins in his rookie season in the Xfinity Series, a new record.
And he's not getting to go to the Cup Series next year. Isn't that something?
He gets to be the poster boy for the Toyota Supra.
Anyone else hear that? Anyone else hear that? That's Denny Hamlin listening to his clock running out.
I saw something today. I think it was from Bob Pockris, but don't quote me on that. It was from somebody reputable. And somebody asked him on Twitter, like, how long Denny Hamlin has left, because as far as I know, his deal has never been made public. From what he said that he believes Hamlin has the longest deal currently out of any JGR driver. Longer than anyone else.
He's probably the worst performing one they'll have next year.
If that's true, you're right. He probably will be. But if that's true, and he's there for another 3 or 4 years,
they could buy that out. They could buy that contract out.
Here's what I see.
Maybe, but not like I don't know if they could now. That's a lot of money to pay off a guy right now.
I mean, to get Bell into the Cup Series, I mean, I think they'll give him the money. They're like, okay,
maybe.
We don't want you here. So
I don't know how much money they got. I don't know where they're going there, but
they probably got a lot. They probably
need to keep Bell.
I think, and this is just me. If they have to, I could see KBM just fielding a car, even though it'd basically be another JGR car. I could see them fielding one under the KBM name, whether it be Kyle Busch driving it or Christopher Bell driving it. I could see something like that if it meant holding on to all the drivers they currently have.
So, according to Athlon Magazine, Denny Hamlin's signed through 2020.
Okay.
So they can buy that out.
So
if that's true, they could do that. I heard at least 2020 is what I'd heard a year ago. So I don't know if it's really 2020, but that's interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, this is as of January.
If they want to keep Denny, I could see them doing a KBM fielded car, or if Denny has to go anywhere, and this might seem a little crazy, but I could almost see Penske finally getting a 4th team and getting Hamlin.
I thought you were gonna. For a second, I thought he's gonna say he's gonna replace Jimmie Johnson and be teammates.
No, I don't say that, but I could see Honestly, I could see them getting the rights to the number 11, giving it that Penske font, and FedEx following them.
I mean,
So
Denny
I'm
Hamlin.
looking.
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
looking here at the different drivers. So I said about Hamlin. We know the story with Suarez. Eric Jones, 2018 with an option to extend. So that's probably what's going to go down. Kyle Busch next year with an option to extend. Kyle Busch is going to stay there. There's no way Kyle Busch leaves.
Assuming M&M's and everyone stays with him, he'll be there. I did see something today. I don't think it was confirmed, but it was reported as a rumor that Levine Family Racing could field a second car for a handful of races this year for Christopher Bell.
Wow.
I can see that. I can see that with the whole alliance deal now.
They did
all
say
stuff,
that
I can see
they're
that.
not going to run 2 full-time cars, but I heard from somebody that, or I read on somewhere on Twitter that.
Oh,
And I could see someone like GameStop or Craftsman step up to sponsor them a few races.
Danny B, you got a super chat there, buddy.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Thanks for kicking me out. Thanks for shame. Do you think NASCAR should add more manufacturers? Maybe.
Going that way.
I'd like to see Dodge come back.
Mercedes and NASCAR. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Hummer. Bring Hummer back.
No.
Hummer went under like
I know. Bring him back just for NASCAR.
Gosh, there's just a size difference.
I don't know. Mercedes and NASCAR, like if Mercedes comes, then Lewis Hamilton for sure is coming to NASCAR.
I could
If that ever happens.
I could see Honda maybe.
I mean,
Or
if Mercedes
Nissan.
were to come, like Hamilton has said, he would be interested, like to run in NASCAR full time in the future because he already has F1. Like he's already like easily top 3, top 2 greatest drivers of all time. He's already got that series wrapped up. Why not try NASCAR and stuff? And if Mercedes were to come, be like, hey, let's go manufacture it and give them a team.
I
I'd be very
just
intrigued to
can't.
see what happens.
I just couldn't imagine Mercedes how it would look in NASCAR.
It would look nice. I'm telling you, that would look the nicest car.
I could see Audi before I could see Mercedes, honestly.
I'd like to see Tesla in NASCAR. That'd be pretty interesting. That'd be interesting.
sponsored by the Joe Rogan Experience.
Let's just do what they did in Herbie Fully Loaded and get that Volkswagen Bug out there.
And why not?
Yeah, but the names I keep hearing whenever I see this stuff, whether it's fans or rumors, is always Nissan and Honda.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I hear about, and then Dodge too. So
I
yeah,
remember Nissan. That's
I mean,
Nissan.
once upon a time, there was a time when NASCAR had like double-digit
I mean,
manufacturers. So
Yeah.
If you ask me, I think that they should try to find an American company because even though I cringe every time I read these comments, we got to do something for these
We
people.
gotta do something about them Toyotas. They've taken
We
over.
already got Ford and Chevy.
I literally read something one time that was like, "Oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to see this driver driving something that represents a country that bombed us in World War II."
Like, oh my god.
Jared Edwards, I'm not ripping on Joe Rogan. I love the guy. I watch his podcast every day.
Yeah.
But
All right, well, I think that's
it's
enough
Jack
on
and a
all of that.
Bewick. Thank you, Mark.
So let's we got the big one quite literally this weekend, Talladega.
Talladega. Okay, I'm gonna have that song in my head all week. Okay, yeah, let's pick.
You're gonna have it in your head. I'll have it in my head when I'm down there, probably.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they play Sweet Home Alabama as much as everyone else talks when they talk about Talladega. To the point where it's like
it's played a lot.
Yeah.
it's like to the point where I'm like, I like the song, but God, find another one. Find another one.
I
They
remember
play it at the track a lot.
I remember NASCAR Thunder 2002. That was the only song they had in the game. And you have to
Yeah,
hear
that
that
thing's
over and
nice.
over and over and over. Oh,
Yeah. All right, who's gonna suck?
So yeah, it's hard to say that because
It's
everyone's
Talladega.
about equal.
no, not necessarily. Here we go.
Well,
I'll
true,
go first.
true.
I'll go first. Who's going to suck at Dega? I'm making that squinting face because I'm like, I don't know. It's really a toss-up between these two guys. Either Truex, to me, or Boyer. I got to go with Boyer here. He's on the cut line already and stuff, and he does have a win there at Talladega and stuff, but I don't know, something about like I just don't see him running well. Maybe he does, and then he gets caught up in the big one or something. So Boyer, I don't really see him doing all that great this weekend.
I feel like whenever I think about Talladega, I never think of Toyotas running well. I don't know what it is. Maybe because Talladega is the most like American track, and they just the Toyotas can't do anything without it. They can't handle all that pure rugged horsepower that these American tracks generate. I never see Toyota do well. Yeah. So I think Kyle Busch has a history of struggling in this race, running into issues, sometimes usually not of his own doing. I think Kyle Busch has a big cushion. I think he's going to race aggressive. I think something's going to go wrong for him.
Oh yeah, 2014 comes to mind. He was in the playoffs.
That was the worst scenario for him.
That's what I was thinking. So you took mine. So I'll take my backup pick for who's going to suck, because he sucks at Talladega mostly, from what I've remembered and seen. Kyle Larson. I think Larson's going to be in the hole really bad going to Kansas.
That's a good
and then he'll blow an engine again.
Last time I was at Talladega, he blew a tire in the first turn, and that was it for him, and I could easily see that happen again.
He's probably the one who's most likely to pull an Elliott Sadler flip.
Oh, my goodness. Curious if there's going to be any flips this weekend.
Probably not with how low they are, but, I mean, there was a flip last time in practice.
McMurray flipped it, so, For me, my guy who's going to do bad is someone who you really wouldn't think this, but I just don't see a good weekend come out of him. And I don't think that Brad Keselowski is going to do too good. I think it's going to be something you would expect him to do good, but I kind of see it might not be his fault. It could be something like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just mess it up for him. But I don't see Keselowski getting a good finish.
3 months later, and we're still going on that joke.
So are we picking playoff drivers that are going to suck, or just any drivers?
Just any drivers.
Okay, because that was mine. Mine was the wrecking ball himself, Ricky Stenhouse. I think he's gonna push the envelope a little too much early and crash. I think and like Danny said, it could be Keselowski. He could take out Keselowski, Logano, Harvick, anybody.
What a difference!
My money's in Stenhouse.
And fun fact here, someone pointed this out in the chat. Keselowski has crashed out of all 3 plate races this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has. I mean, what a difference a year makes.
He's led a lot of laps at him too, which is the saddest part.
What a difference a year makes, though, with Stenhouse. I mean, last year was a surefire pick to win at these plate tracks. Now he's just so damn stupid. He's just wins 2 races, and all of a sudden now he's like, oh, I'm the baddest man on the planet at these plate tracks, and then he just freaking wrecks the entire field. I don't know.
Yeah, Daytona was not good. Both Daytonas. I remember in the duels he was spinning people out, taking the air off of them.
David Gilliland even said after he got spun, oh yeah, like he wins 2 races and now he's God or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like he's not a terrible plate racer, but he's kind of got Chase Elliott syndrome where he pushes the envelope on like stage 1 way too early and ends up wrecking.
That's the thing about a lot of these young drivers is, and I noticed this 2016, 17 is like a lot of these drivers don't draft. They just try and pass. And that's like something I've noticed between good plate racers and bad plate racers, and the ones who get lucky is that it's like the good ones, the ones you're going to see up there every week, the Joey Logano's, the Keselowskis, beforehand, the Gordons and Earnhardts and Stewarts, they're good drafters. They're good at playing the draft. Or these guys who, may have won, but wreck a lot, Stenhouse and, even Larson, they're trying to pass more. And I think a lot of these younger drivers have that problem where it's like, I just need to pass everybody. Well, you can't without help.
Exactly.
That's the whole, that's the whole shtick there.
Yeah.
All right.
So who's going to be an underdog?
Ooh. All right, I got this.
A lot of people.
There's a lot of picks, and this one. I like Matt DiBenedetto here. I mean, it's Talladega, so I mean, I don't know. With this being the week he signs, with a better team for 2019, this could be the week. I could see him maybe getting a top 5 finish here because I feel like there's going to be a ton of wrecks here. I mean, with stages at plate races, which I still don't agree with, by the way. I mean, all these guys are going to be so aggressive. There's probably only going to be like 10 or 15 cars left. So DiBenedetto, He'll probably start.
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, he'll probably start in the back and stuff, and he'll just work his way up because of all these crashes and stuff too. But I could see him getting like a top 10 here. So Benedetto for sure.
Who goes? Am I second or are you second, Danny? I don't know
You're second. You're second.
I don't know the order. We changed. I'm lost. Anyway, sorry. I think my underdog pick is not a playoff driver. I think Jamie McMurray is a guy you have to watch out for. He's got a little bit of the Ricky Stenhouse syndrome, and that he can get a little wrecky, get a little reckless up there. But he has won this race before. I think it was 2013. He won this race.
2009.
Oh yeah, in 2009. So he's won at plate tracks multiple times in his career. So I think McMurray's a guy to watch out for. If he can avoid wrecking people, I think he's a guy he'll be in the top 5. He'll be there at the end.
Okay. For me, as far as underdogs go, there's 3 drivers that I've been debating on, and it's like I'm really thinking underdog's going to win this weekend, so I'm going to save one of these guys for the winner pick. And it's actually a tie for my underdog. I couldn't decide between the other 2 guys. It's going to be a tie between Eric Almirola and David Reagan. David Reagan is a guy to always never look against when we come to a track like this. And Eric Almirola is so hungry for a win. And I feel like he's gonna be somebody to give a chance. Okay, Darian Gilliam has just lost the power, so he will be back whenever he can. But yeah, it's a tie between David Reagan and Eric Almirola.
Okay. I'm like sitting here contemplating which underdog pick I should have. And I'm trying to figure out the averages really quick. So give me like one of those. Okay, so let's see. This guy, he has an average finish of around 14th. Got his first top 10 here in the spring. He finished 10th. And I swear to God, I'm not picking this guy, not trolling with it. How much did he lead any laps? Let me see. No, he didn't, but I think he will this time. My underdog pick is going to be Suarez.
Hear it. Dang it.
Might as well go all in or nothing.
That was my.
Damn.
To back that up, last year in this race, he was leading until him and Chase Elliott collided in turn 3 and wrecked. So I think Suarez is a great pick, but I also think a lot's riding on the line this weekend for Alex Bowman. So I would look for him to possibly pull up an upset and get the victory lane.
Bowman's gonna. All right, so I guess are we moving on to
to the favorites?
Who gonna win?
I guess since Darian's not here, I'll go ahead and go. Oh gosh, I lost my pick. I was going back and forth. I thought about picking a Penske car, but I just, Keselowski's been so good in this race. He always gets the clutch wins at Talladega. He's not really in a must-win scenario though, so I don't see this being his weekend. Oh my gosh, who was my pick? I already lost it, guys. This is bad news bears. I forgot my pick. Oh no, it wasn't a Toyota. That's all I know. Oh, I'll find it. Don't you worry. I might not find it, guys. I lost my pick. I know I was thinking Keselowski, but I wasn't going to go with Keselowski. Oh, I remember it. Eric Almirola is going to win this race. He almost won the Daytona 500. He's driving, for the best team in the sport right now. He's coming off probably his best race of the season last year at Dover. He is in a must-win scenario, which maybe won't play to his strengths. But I think Eric Almirola, he wins it.
And his last 3 finishes at Talladega, 4th, 5th, and 7th.
I didn't even know that, but thank you, my statistician. Thank you. That was nice.
Man here. Am I next?
Yeah, it's either you or Danny.
Okay, no, I think I go next. So for my pick, I told you I couldn't decide between 3 drivers for underdog, but I do think an underdog is going to get a win here. This season, he has had a lot of good performances between the 3 plate races we've seen this year. He's led 40 laps between the 3 times we've been to one of these. He's finished 17th, 8th, and 10th place. He started 2nd 11th, and 1st at these. And the car itself has had a lot of success. And my pick for this weekend is Alex Bowman getting the upset win.
Attaboy.
Okay, I'm back from the dead. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the lights started to flicker, and then my printer shut off, and then everything shut off there for a second. And I was like, damn, I'm not going to give my pick. But then everything turned back on. So, sorry, I'm back from the dead there. Did everyone give their picks yet?
Just for underdogs. There's 2 left for main pick.
Did I pick my underdog? Oh, wait, yeah, I did. I picked the better.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so main pick. I know I said go all in or all out, but I'm going to go safe here. I think that Brad Keselowski repeats. I think that this team's just hot right now. It kind of reminds, and with luck, the way it's been for them, it seems like a little bit like 2012 where everything just sort of fell into place. So I think that'll keep going. I think he is the most talented drafter in the field. I think they prepare the best cars in the field. So I'm going to take, is he Miller Lite this week? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, he's Miller Lite.
Yeah.
I'll take the blue deuce then. That isn't blue.
The white blue deuce.
White.
Darren, you can go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I know the whole meme is, and the championship run begins. No, I'm not doing that this week. Larson's not winning. Yeah, I'm not going to do that this week. And no, even though this is a plate track, Bubba's not winning either. There's no way that's happening. But this pick, he surprised me in the first race. I mean, in the fall race last year. He was leading for a moment until he pulled a little block move there, and boom, he takes himself out. And I was like, and then I saw how he performed in the spring race, and I was like, you know what? Maybe he might have a shot here. You know, if there's going to be more big wrecks, basically like what the last fall race had. Yes, that's right. I like Suarez here, and he's my pick.
Dude, while you were gone, that was my underdog pick.
No, I had it running the whole time and stuff, but damn, everyone just goes crazy. I know, and you know what? You're probably asking, what the hell? Like, look, I like him at restrictor plate tracks here and stuff.
Trust me, I'm not questioning it at all.
No, I'm not questioning it. That's wwhy it was my underdog pick. I just think it's funny because I was like, wow, that all fell into place, right?
We spent 20 minutes where we basically talked about how Darian's meme is that he hates Daniel Suarez apparently, and I just love that when it comes to the very next prediction. Suarez is doing this week, guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit insane with my picks and stuff. Anyways, or whatever.
Logic is
I'm
all
like
over.
all over the place. Pretty much, it's all over the place. Anyways, Carnation, clip that, buddy, because that was the best reaction I've ever seen on this. Like everyone just went crazy.
Hasn't already.
Everyone.
Darren, your picks each week are probably the highlight of my Wednesdays. Like that's what I look forward to the most. I never know where you're going to go with them, and they surprise me every week.
I think I don't really go outside the box with my picks. Only like the Chase Elliott one and the Ryan Newman one are probably the 2 craziest picks I've made all season.
Kyle Porter says Darian had some good Mexican food today, so he's going to give him a chance.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Darren. I picked Bowman a couple times this year, but this is the first time I picked him where I actually feel like it could happen.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was great. That's great.
All right, we'll have to see
That's
what happens.
incredible.
So, we'll have to see what happens.
Kyle Petty, that's incredible.
So who have we got so far? We got Suarez, we got Keselowski, we got Bowman. Who'd you pick, Eric?
Almirola.
Almirola. All right, Jano, who are you going with?
And I got 3 big names circling in my head. One is a repeat winner, Logano. He has a shot. Another is another repeat winner in a certain sense, Chase Elliott. Always a threat to win at plate tracks just because of the I guess he's got like the Dale Jr. instinct in a way in some aspects. And then I think Eric had him as his bust this weekend, but I hate to say it because I'm not a big fan of the driver to begin with, but I think Kyle Busch has a solid chance of winning Talladega this weekend. And generally who I pick, I curse. So good luck, Kyle Busch.
Also, Danny B, chat alert, super chat alert. Super chat alert. I've been on. You got $5.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Want me to read it? I got it up right here.
I got it here. It's actually from my buddy Stephen Coy. How's it going, man? Hey guys, going to the Kansas race. I'm on 21st with my dad. It's his first race. He's excited for it. Stephen, I'm so excited for you guys. I hope you have a great time, man.
Oh, and we
You got another one. You got another one.
Afterwards.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Bubba will win this weekend, says Corvette Racing.
No, he's not. It's not happening.
He is not allowed.
Yeah.
Hey,
I see Actor Darian's response there, who's not getting a $1.99 super chat next week.
And if Bubba wins this weekend, then and I'm there to see it, then I will buy the 124 Elite race version of it.
Carnation, clip that.
The most expensive die-cast money can buy.
Oh my gosh. Talladega,
Like-
baby.
I'm excited.
Can't wait.
You got another one. Hold on. You got another one.
David Reagan will win. Hey, like I said, he's one of my he's one of my underdogs. It's from inside Uranus.
Oh my gosh.
Only reason I'll say it is because he's paying for it. So
We're so childish. We're so childish, man. We're so freaking
Oh,
childish.
man.
well, we are getting into the times when the crazy super jets come in. So
do you guys want me really quick to do an announcement? Like, it's not a big announcement, everybody. It's not like, a driver or anything, but just what channels will be on and who our guests will be, because we only have 7 episodes after this left this year.
I know. Isn't that just amazing?
crazy.
We're
Give
on
the
episode
rundown.
35. All right, let me
Give the
pull this
rundown.
thing up. All right, next week, October 17th, we'll be on Darian's channel. Special guest David Land and Urinating
gosh.
Tree.
Sorry.
They're back. They're back together again. This time on my channel. So tune into that for next week.
Oh, yeah.
All right, October 24th, and one of these I literally just got done 5 minutes ago, basically ironing it out. October 24th, my channel. Evan Pisacco and 10 to Go will be on after making his triumphant return. All right, October 30th will be a Tuesday because we're not going to do Halloween. We care about you. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be trick-or-treating.
He's gonna dress as Mr. Incredible.
No, he's going to be Bob Ross.
Jeez.
Anyway, October 30th is on Darian's channel, Kamikaze and IDK. Then November 7th is on Eric's channel. Balto Racing will be on, and then possibly M&M Cup Series.
Oh.
November 14th is on Danny's, tentatively. And that's the 40th episode. Brendan Little Gaming will be on, and we got a super chat.
Yeah, we got a super chat here. Thanks from the Bombetto. Y'all sleeping on Ricky Bobby. Yep, Ricky Bobby's gonna come out of retirement and win.
Come out of your screens and slap you in the face.
I'm curious if you actually put Will Ferrell into a cup car at Talladega, how would he be able to perform?
Oh,
Terrible.
man, probably, yeah.
He'd be like Michael Walken in the later stages of his career.
Really, okay, I'll just go through this real quick. So that's the 40th one. Then 21st, right after Homestead, will be on Eric's channel. We're gonna do an all-star one. So basically, any guest we've had on so far who wants to be back on, we'll get little time slots filled up, and so that'll be
Hopefully
one.
someone who wants to come back.
I would say we could get Bill Lester for that one.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And then November 28th, be on my channel, last one of the year. Probably just be the host, sort of do a best of the year, favorite moments, whatever, talk to the chat kind of thing.
The award show. Like best finish, best race, best haircut, best host.
And I saw someone ask if they're all on Wednesdays. All of them except October 30th. That's on a Tuesday.
And then after this season's done, no more podcasts. It's up. No, I'm just kidding. There's a season.
No, season 2 probably be late January or early February. So
if you're lucky, maybe we'll do a BS stream from time to time.
yeah, I might have a few little plans for the BS stream to make that a little more linear on when everything comes out and whatnot. So stay tuned for that, everybody in the chat.
I'm trying to get that going a little bit more too. So just stay tuned.
All right. So I hope everyone in the chat's happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like a good line.
Plan for season 2. Oh yeah, we got plenty of stuff planned for season 2, but we're not going to say it until next year probably.
I'm gonna juggle.
On stream.
Dude, this guy's rich. He just got another super chat from
We got
Inside Your
another
End.
super chat. Would be awesome if you guys got.
Danny's face, that's funny.
Yeah. That guy would be great to come on. Come on, Barry.
Oh man.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know. Wait, what did it say? I didn't even see it.
It's just some guy. Can you read his name?
I'll tell you in the chat.
I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Should I know who that is? No,
He's
who
a
is
big
that?
deal.
Dude, are you being serious?
No, what the?
Say that in your head. Say it in your head.
Oh, you know what? Oh,
It's okay. He's paying for it.
oh, yeah.
And now we're paying for it.
Oh, now the
Jeez.
chat's saying it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Even Caleb, one of our trusted moderators, is saying it.
Well, Heather Hansen has already figured out the late days of January and the early days of February. That'll be Wednesday. So good job.
Mark your calendars.
Oh my gosh.
Are we gonna do a Christmas episode? We could do a Christmas BS stream.
Yeah, I do think there should be a Christmas special.
Oh, and also
dresses up as Santa.
And also,
Yes, and Christmas
also a BS stream if like the Rams and Vikings make it to the NFC Championship, or like if the Titans make the playoffs or something like that. So that'd be fun.
I think the Titans are gonna make it this year.
Yeah, they'll make it to the wild card, but that's it. The Rams, though, you can't stop them. You can't stop them
All right.
ever. Greatest show on turf, part 2. That's what I'm talking about.
See, okay, as soon as Zach Harmon gets in with the Titans, we're gonna be great. So.
So, Darian, if let's say one of our teams were to win in the championship game, does that mean the other has to be forced to be on a BS stream? For
Darn you, Caleb!
Kill you, Caleb.
This is when we should be winding down.
Caleb. Okay, yeah, I am going to take your money. All right, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to buy a Coke with that much money.
I'd like to buy the world
a Coke. Thank you. Wait, don't sing. Don't sing. No, don't sing. I heard you guys sing the national anthem for the Pro Series race.
I wasn't racing that.
Oh, well, some of y'all did.
That was an atrocity.
Yeah, that was disrespectful. I'm just kidding.
That was fun. What are you talking
I stood while I was doing it. I was.
We swears that we're mature. We swears that.
No, but what was he saying, Jarrett? If one of our what?
Instead of one of, let's say the Vikings and Rams play each other in the NFC Championship, and then let's say like the Rams beat the Vikings or the Vikings beat the Rams, whichever it'll be. Do we have to be forced to be on a BS stream to watch the other team win?
Well, since the Rams are going to win, of course, then yes.
Think the Rams are gonna run the table?
Are they what?
They're gonna run the table?
Oh yeah, well they're gonna go 15-1 and they're just gonna win the Super Bowl. It's not even a debate.
Panthers and go 15-1 and then get dabbed on by Von Miller.
Oh gosh, look, I don't know. Like nobody can beat them. I'm sorry, you can try and beat them, but you can't do it. And
I think I honestly could see them going 16-0.
I don't know. We'll see.
We have got another super chat.
Another super chat.
Thank you, guys. I expect a car in my driveway tomorrow. You gonna come over to the dealership and be signing off on that? Because you got to pay a lot of money, young man.
I guess the last thing I gotta say about the Rams and stuff, that Chiefs-Rams game in Mexico City on Monday night, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it is.
So hopefully they're still undefeated by that game and stuff, because that's in November. It's like
I'll make sure that happens.
Yeah.
I still think the Rams won that one though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You guys are too good.
I know. I remember, they're 5-0 now, and they can be 6-0. I remember from 07-09, they won 6 games in 3 years. That's how bad they were.
Yeah.
And now they're all of a sudden just boom, like just winning and stuff. It's crazy. It's amazing.
And fighting each other in the stand.
Well,
Caleb Hoffman asked, "What will $2 buy me? What car?" Well, actually, $4. Okay, if you give me $2 more, you can get one of these diecasts right here. That's what you're gonna get.
It'll also get you some alone time with Danny B. After hour. After hour.
All
right. I think we've hit the wall. Have another running term.
Let's take some time to and not talk about what kind of car we're gonna get Caleb Hoffman, but let's talk about let's just see what the chat's got going on.
All right, guys, give us what you got.
Because we are watching.
Yeah, I do have to go soon though.
Oh yeah, he's got work. He's a working man.
Yeah, he's got to go unload those planes.
Am I allowed to talk about that though?
All
Don't talk about it on air. I
right.
like planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay, give me diecast. Okay, you just tell me which one you want. I'll get it for you. I'm sorry, but Eric, but Sox and
I'm rooting for the Astros.
In 6? See, that alone, the fact that you think it's going to take 6 games means you think it's going to be a series. And, I mean, the Boston Red Sox won 108 games this year. Although I saw a stat. This series between the Astros and the Red Sox is the most combined regular season wins in a series in like 20 years.
I didn't even know the playoffs started. So
What?
I don't watch baseball. I don't watch baseball.
Awesome.
I mean, basketball is about to start though. So NBA is about to start.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, Bam Beto, I would agree with you. 6 games, Red Sox will win it. But as a passionate Astros fan that just watched them defy the odds and win the World Series a year ago, I think the Astros will win it in 6. Oh wait, games. Actually, no, the Astros will probably.
I think
we're a better road team. We're a better road team than a home team. So actually, we'll win it in 6 or 7. We'll beat you guys in Boston.
I'd love that.
How about those Houston Rockets though? They're looking pretty good in the preseason.
I mean, they're going to be the 2nd seed in the West and lose in the Western Conference Finals. It's done deal.
There's a new version of who always lost in the conference finals? The Pistons.
Yeah.
Pistons always lost in the Eastern Conference Finals back when they had Chauncey Billups, and it's so terrible.
Detroit sucks.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, did anyone hear the story about Jimmy Butler today in practice?
Oh,
yeah,
that
completely lost his mind.
So basically the backstory is Jimmy Butler, he does not like Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, who are supposed to be the 2 best players on the team. He apparently thinks they're just immature, stupid, and lazy, and he wants out of there as soon as possible. And the Heat are rumored to be there, but he's not traded yet, so he has to go to practice. And he shows up, and he just loses his mind. He freaking dunks on everyone, he just like starts shooting everywhere and stuff. He starts just balling on all of these guys, and he's like, "Y'all need me to win." Like, you guys he just starts talking mess to like Towns, and he just left everyone speechless too.
I heard that he lined up for scrimmaging. He lined up with the 3rd stringers, and they were able to blow out the starters with Jimmy Butler on the 3rd string team.
Yeah.
He was just going crazy.
So Lucky Louie says NASCAR Weekly Podcast more like top 3. More like NBA Smack Talk podcast. So maybe we should get off the NBA for a little bit.
Yeah. It's only been 4 minutes. People need to chill.
We're hitting that 2-hour mark anyway.
Yeah.
We can start doing sign-offs.
So I guess if there's
oh no, this is so bad. Jimmy Butler has SUGMA.
Okay.
And those die. Come on.
I don't know. Anyways, I guess twice. I guess there's other news, NASCAR news maybe. You can
we gotta talk about Dave W. People, y'all need to subscribe and watch his channel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Monday night? It's every Monday night. He has an old race he'll play. So this past week, it was a 2000 Cracker Barrel 500, and it's just the raw footage. So I say if you guys want to see what it was like 20, 30 years ago with races, check out his channel.
Yeah,
really fun. We'll be in the chat more than likely. So
Dave W has been in the NASCAR YouTube community since when was his first upload? 9 years ago? Something like that?
9 years ago.
So he's been there for a long time. He's one of the straight up OGs, and he does these streams as well. So
I do have something big here. I sent it in the chat, and it reminded me, I sent this earlier. F1, the people behind F1 is making an all-women racing series.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay.
That's cool.
That's going to suck. That's going to suck, man. And here's why. Let's get into this, okay?
Well, is it going to be that bad? Because, if I don't know.
Even Pittman, man, in IndyCar even said, dude, this is just going to suck, too. She's a female racer in that series. Look, women for years in motorsports have tried to get equality, okay? They've tried to get equality. Janet Guthrie, for example, raced during an era where women weren't even allowed on pit road. So I don't know. It's just an all-women racing series, too. I think Caleb said it best. He tweeted it at me, too. He replied with something. It was like, I don't know. I feel like – hold on. Let me pull up the tweet really quick because he said something I liked on there. But I don't know. It's just like like racing's cool to me is because it doesn't matter what gender, what skin color you are. If you're one of the best, you will get to go up against the best, no matter what. Now, I don't know, just making I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess. Oh, so Caleb said, don't segregate the sexes in motorsports. That just implies women can't race men. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Caleb there.
I that's the thing is like I get it why there's like a WNBA as opposed to an NBA. You know, that's
right.
It's a sport where it's you know that's kind of how it has to be for the most part.
Yeah.
But in racing, yeah, you're right. There's no reason men, women, anyone can race anybody. Like it doesn't. There's no. The cars are all the same. Physicality doesn't really matter. It's really just skill, talent, and you know we've seen plenty of women drivers succeed in all levels of racing. And I think this sounds like a gimmick. Sounds like, it's a quick cash grab to get some eyeballs, get some news stories. Maybe it'll get some sponsors. Maybe it'll last. Maybe it won't. But I don't think it really is. I don't think it's a good idea. If you're thinking about just the racing as a sport, as like a thing, it's not good for that thing. It may be good for their little individual business in the short term, but it's not going to be good for racing.
Yeah, who's going to go to the races? You go to the races to see the best. And when the field's not maybe there might be the best women drivers, but they're not the best in the world. You know what I'm saying? You go to a NASCAR race because you want to see some of the best guys in all of the country race each other and stuff. And then you got I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's going to fail miserably.
Yep. I mean, I looked them up. Their Twitter account has 4,000 followers. So
I don't really see it being all that much. And even some people on there were even dude, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this anyways.
Is it the group behind F1 that's starting it? I didn't see that.
I don't know. But I mean, the car looks very similar to a Formula One car too.
I don't know who's actually behind it. I just think it's interesting. I'd have to look more into it. I didn't look. I saw a tweet, maybe two, and that was it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not going to work, I don't think. Mm-mm. I mean, now if it does, I'll be really surprised, but I don't see it happening.
All right. Well, do we want to start signing out then?
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first?
Let you guys go first.
Okay, I'll go. So what's up, everybody? Iceberg. Again, you know who I am. If you've been watching this now for 35 episodes. Subscribe to all these guys. I recently released a Devil's Advocate. Gonna have a new video coming out probably this Friday or Saturday. That's pretty cool. And you guys probably will enjoy it. It has something to do with 2004. And yeah, I had fun tonight. Can't wait for what next week's in store for. So till then, later.
How's it going, guys? It's thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Like and subscribe to everyone's channels, and also subscribe to my channel, Black Flags Matter. New Good Seasons video this Friday, Kasey Kahne 2006. You kind of guessed it already and stuff, so that'll be up there. I might go back to uploading 2 videos a week for a little bit, and then maybe transition. I don't know. I'll probably go back to doing that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in once again to the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. I know you guys have been doing this 35 weeks. I've been here almost that long, but it's always fun to do this show as always. Thanks to Gino, our guest, for stopping by, and thanks to everyone in the chat for being here as well. A lot of some good comments in there tonight. I know I got here a little late. I didn't get to talk about the Jimmie Johnson, Knaus news. Just briefly, my opinion. It's it's the end of an era. I'm sure all you guys said the same exact thing. It's one of the most successful pairings in professional sports history, arguably the most successful pairing. I mean, it was a top story on ESPN when I turned it on earlier this afternoon. That's rare for NASCAR to hit the top story on ESPN these days. So it'll be interesting to see how both of them go next year. Together, not really, but not fully apart either. It'll be interesting to see who it benefits the best in the long term. But anyway, of course, I'm Eric Eastep. You can find me in the description. Subscribe to all these guys, and I'll see you guys again next week. Should be fun.
There's also a petition to sign as well to get them back together.
Oh gosh!
After this year, do you even want them back together?
Yeah, no. It's it's already a done deal, guys.
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Yeah, nothing you can do. It was agreed upon by all people involved.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm the ACS Racing Network. This is kind of proof that I'm not dead. I'm still trying to wade through the constant workflow and college homework and stuff. So stop motions, I can't promise any for the next month. I have some done, like filmed, but it's just so much time to sit down and edit when there's papers I have to write, tests I have to study for. I just had 2 exams today, and that was brutal. So I'm just trying to make it through college. I want to have a good job later in life. So stop motions will always be put second, but just I want you guys to know I didn't forget about you. And also one more thing, I would like to make a public apology to Joseph Lombard for ruining his sanity. There was, for a lot of people that follow me on Twitter, I kind of went overboard for like a whole week. I do want to say that it was just a joke at first, but then it kind of became a game because he wasn't replying. It was like kind of like making me mad. It's like,
I'll be honest,
why is everyone else, but not me? So I kind of like bought into it and kept going. So I'm sorry, Joseph. I know you're a good guy. We're both Chase Elliott fans. We can agree on that. So I'm sorry for ruining your sanity. I will try and be more friendly to you more on. So just want to say sorry to N2SC4R because we're both Gordon and Elliott fans. So I feel like we could get along, but we just have to play a little nicer. So this is JT24, JM26 signing out.
And of course, I'm Danny B as well. I'll apologize to Joseph as well because he's asked me a couple of times if I would like to make another appearance on his little weekly show. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed being on it, but I stay pretty busy with work right now. In the car sale business. So I'm struggling as it is to do content for my own channel and work things out with the weekly podcast. I was off today, so fortunately I was able to host. Next week, it's looking like I'm getting off at 6 o'clock, so I should be fine to be on next week. But I will tell you this. As far as content goes on my channel, I've been looking at what's been successful and what's been not successful with my channel. What do you guys want to see? What do you not want to see? And what do I like doing? So my NASCAR season review stuff, it's pretty clear I don't have time for it. And I'm sorry, but you hear me talk about it enough on the podcast. So, I mean, do you really need me to make another video about it? Maybe not.
Yes.
Yes. Well, no. I will tell you this. I'm currently writing right now 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about, number 6. It's coming back, my most popular series on this channel. And I'm going to try to do a lot more of these. Now, I mean, look at this. I can do these for a long time. Let that focus in. There is a lot of people on this list that I can do videos about. And still a lot more people to do. So I am all for doing more 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about. I will bring those back more often. I promise you that. But as far as something else going on my channel, WWE 2K19 recently come out. And I have been having a lot of fun with that. And I am streaming my Universe mode every week. Monday and Tuesday, do Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, just like they would in reality. I always watch it later. I don't really watch it live. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Do the pay-per-views whenever it's time for those. And hope you like that. If you would like to watch that, you don't have to. I do it for fun anyways. But that's all for me. You're going to get more 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about. And it's been fun. See you guys later. Bye.